All right. Let's adjust this. Oh boy, let's adjust this real quick. All right, what's up, people? What's going on? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Did I sound clear for you guys? What's going on? What's up, Spartan? What's up, Nailbat? What's up, Crossfire? Wraith? What's going on? Lots in here. What's up, Dark Link? Thomas, what's up, brother? That sound good? Everything sound good? Where I start? Yeah, you were first. Shout to Nailbat. Oh, actually, no, that'll leave Spartan. Beat you by like a millisecond. Beat you by a millisecond. SS9, what's up, brother? What's going on? Lay, what up? Pef, hey, Dom, what's going on? What's up, OBJ? Good to see you, my brother. Roman Knight. Who else is in chat? All right. All right, we good. All right, so hopefully I come off good and you guys can hear me. Somebody type a 1 in the chat if I sound good so I can get into this whole situation, this story. Because it's pretty telling. It's been a 1 if I sound good. But it's pretty telling what's going on for the PS4 and Xbox, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, thank you. That's fine. Thank you. Okay, so I guess I'll just start with that. That is like the major thing that's going around right now. Everybody's talking about it. All right. Sony is going to be partnering with Microsoft, and obviously they're hinting at PS5 with this particular partnership. This partnership is all about Microsoft building Sony a new infrastructure, and they're talking about AI. Now, you guys remember a few E3s ago, Microsoft first announced Microsoft AI, right? We were all like, why are we talking about Microsoft AI when you're showing nothing but multiplats? Remember that particular E3? We're all like, yeah, this is a nice E3, but it's mostly multiplats. Well, now we know what exactly is going on here. And another thing that's pretty telling about this too, right? I remember all of us were sitting there asking ourselves, me especially, I was like, why is Sony so quiet about streaming? How come they haven't said anything about streaming? And now we know why they haven't said anything about streaming, because, well, Sony low-key was like, if you can't beat them, let's join them. Now, the best way to explain this situation is kind of like the same thing you guys are seeing with the Nintendo Switch. Remember how Microsoft is building Nintendo its online infrastructure, and they're actually helping Nintendo get the basic features to the Switch, right? Microsoft's doing that in hopes of being carried. Now that Sony is officially signed with Microsoft for next generation, this actually changes the game quite a bit. Microsoft is trying to build an infrastructure. Now, this new infrastructure, we don't know what exactly they're going to try and do with this infrastructure, right? We don't know like how they're going to try to go about it. But the fact that Microsoft's behind it, it is a little telling. You know, PSN is not really the most reliable network. We all can agree. The same thing can be said about, you know, Microsoft's network, right? Their networks are not really the greatest. They data cap you by default and X amount of things, but well, this is what they have to say. I'm actually going to put it on the screen for you guys, and we'll read this along because this is actually pretty telling. Hold on, let me just share, present, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay. Let's begin. Microsoft and Sony have announced plans for a strategic partnership that will include technology and information sharing, as well as a shared infrastructure for some of their initiatives. While the announcement doesn't mention the Xbox or PlayStation brand specifically, it does suggest the partnership will focus on consumer entertainment platforms, including gaming. Specifically, the agreement says that the two will jointly develop future cloud solutions within Microsoft's Azure. It also says that that Sony will use Microsoft's Azure for its own game and content streaming services, including a push to build better tools for content creators. The two are also committing to work together on semiconductors and artificial intelligence. PlayStation itself came PlayStation itself came about through the integration of creativity and technology. Sony president Kenichiro Yoshida said in an announcement, "Our mission is to seamlessly evolve this platform as one that continues to deliver the best and most immersive entertainment experiences, together with a cloud environment that ensures the best possible experience. anytime, anywhere. For many years, Microsoft has been a key business partner for us, though, of course, the two companies have also been competing in some areas. I believe that our joint development of future cloud solutions will contribute greatly to the advancement of interactive content. Sony has always been a leader in both entertainment and technology, and the collaboration we announced today builds on this history of innovation, added Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. Our partnership brings the power of Azure and Azure AI to Sony to develop new gaming and entertainment experiences for customers. End quote. That's what they had to say. And Phil Spencer's tweets right here too. Excited about our opportunity ahead of Sony for us to pursue our mutual gaming ambitions and delight players around the world. So that's what they had to say. This is yeah. So streaming. I know you guys are against streaming. A lot of you guys might be against streaming, but this is something that is clearly not going away anytime soon. Streaming is clearly going to be a big thing. Now, I already saw a video today from my homie Foxy Games UK. He talked about the PS5 being $500 and Sony potentially, like I say, like basically repeating the same mistakes from the PS3 to PS4 or whatever, or I'm sorry, PS3. $500 is fine. I don't think anybody would complain about a system being $500. But let's be real here, $500. I mean, I'd rather play $500 than $400, especially if I know I'm going to get some better hardware out the deal and a better deal. $500 is fine. I don't think $600 is really the deal breaker, but $500 is more than fine for a new console, without a doubt, especially when we're considering, what you're getting out of the console and what they really want to deliver as opposed to what they can, depending on, how much they can actually get it to you, based on the price. So I think $500 is fine. $400, obviously the sweet spot for a lot of us. We're so used to it. We're so used to that PS4 price point. But $500 could very well be the sweet, it could be fine for a lot of us. Sorry, my phone went off. Anyway, as far as this partnership with Microsoft, it just seems like Microsoft is building everybody's infrastructure. Y'all notice that? They're building Nintendo's. Now they're going to be helping Sony build their new PSN. Now, what's funny about this, too, I actually brought this up a while ago when I first was talking about PS5. When we were talking about improvements, I was talking about a revamped PSN. The question is, what exactly were they going to offer with the new revamped PSN, right? If they're going to do this with Microsoft and have their service with, Microsoft's and Sony, that means that probably Sony and Microsoft are probably going to give into cross progression and all this junk. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be a big thing. And another thing that does make sense now, since this is going to be a thing, you guys remember the rumor that was going around that Sony was going to get gifting on the PS5? Well, I think this definitely sealed the deal of how they're going to do it. Microsoft's doing all this for them. It's weird though, it's weird. It really is weird though that we go back to Microsoft for this, but I mean, I guess it all comes full circle. What's up, Trey? What's up? Halogen or Halogen? I was messing up your name. What's up, Halogen? What's going on here? Microsoft and Sony are partnering up for streaming, brother. They're partnering up. Microsoft's getting a new infrastructure, and they're building it specifically for Sony. They're building that infrastructure. So PSN could very well change and get updated, they might update the servers for PSN. I'm not sure how they're going to do PSN. What they might do for PSN, they might just upload, like, you guys know, like we complain, especially on PS3 to PS4. You guys remember the download and upload speeds on the system? Remember those issues we had? Well, I can see those probably improving with this deal for sure. I can see them probably adding their more servers. Now, Microsoft, we know this for a fact, has more servers than Sony. They even announced that at the start of this generation before we even got to the Xbox One X and S and all that. It was the original Xbox One, and they were talking about cloud powering and whatnot, and they were talking about all the servers that they bought. So they do have more servers than what Sony can offer with their service. It kind of would make sense for them to partner with them just on that merit alone, and then, not really take much of a hit if it doesn't necessarily fall out. Because remember, this is just a partnership. This isn't necessarily Sony putting their own money into the whole thing. So that's actually what the strategic thing about it is. That's how strategic it is. But again, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. I'm not really. I'm just shocked by this. That this actually came to fruition. Said no more console war. No, I disagree. Console war will always exist because there's always going to be that one person that says my platform is better than yours. It's kind of like saying my dad is better than your dad because he has this occupation over your father who has this occupation. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what, race or whatever at this point. In this case, doesn't matter what platform they're going to be on. Let's say Microsoft and Sony came out with a console, right? They both came out with the PS5 and they both came out with the Xbox, right? But let's say they came out a few years later with one that was merged together and had everything, and they were working legit together in a partnership. Guarantee you somebody will go, well, I prefer this one because it's not attached to this one, it didn't have this issue. It's like, that will always be a thing with next gen and console wars. That will always be a thing. Let's see here. Let me go further down. 1 second. Maybe just messaged my phone went off. 1 second. That's right. What's up, Carlos? What's going on? But yeah. Bray, what up? What up? What's up? We're definitely going to be talking about this tomorrow on the RGT for sure. But I definitely wanted to get a quick little heads up on it. I know a lot of people asking me about this. Like, did you see this? Yes, I have. I have seen this, and this is again. I don't want to say I'm sold on the partnership, but I can see why Sony would partner with Microsoft because Microsoft, you think about it, even though we have slandered Microsoft left and right, I, for one, am guilty by default on this, right? Microsoft has been the most committed when it comes to building an online infrastructure strictly for streaming alone. They have been upfront with that. Whether or not it actually will work in a field test, we have yet to see. We haven't seen it actually work in a field test. We haven't. We heard about it and we saw it on Microsoft's Xbox Inside Xbox show. You remember that? We saw it on the Inside Xbox show. But we were like, okay, is that even running legit on it? Because it had that latency problem that we were talking about. So the fact that they're even thinking about partnering with them again, it's fine. I mean, I'm okay with this merit. I'm actually okay with this. This actually doesn't change the deal whatsoever. But it's going to be interesting to see nonetheless, especially if, let's say, if we see something crazy happen. Could this lead to stuff like Microsoft putting Gears on PS5? I don't know. I don't want to go that far and speculate, but we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how this deal goes. We're really going to have to see how it goes. The fact that they're building their infrastructure, I'm actually okay with them. Building the infrastructure. That's fine. Microsoft's infrastructure is fine, but just I would say keep it the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like keep certain things the way they should and not necessarily overdo everything. You know what I'm saying? Like don't change everything to like something that we don't need. But it's cool on paper. It really, really is cool on paper. It's only a matter of time until how, this actually comes about. Let's see. You don't see Halo Gears or Forza on PSN. Now I'm saying like in future reference. Remember, Microsoft's really focusing on Game Pass. So if they're building the infrastructure for Sony and Sony's going to allow Microsoft to, do this, obviously Nintendo's allowing them to build their infrastructure. So this could lead to crossplay with all three, right? Could this lead to Sony actually caving in and allowing Game Pass on PSN and PS4 or PS5? Could that actually contribute to that? Remember, you guys, we love Sony at the end of the day, right? We all love Sony in the chat, but Sony is smart. They're businessmen at the end of the day. They know where value is. If Sony can get a deal off of Game Pass where they can get 50% off, 50% of the profits from Game Pass alone coming to their platform and they sell even more. And let's say the PS5 is indeed the king again, like the PS4 this gen, they could very well make even more profit. I know a lot of people are talking about Microsoft making profit, and that's true. Microsoft is making profit. If you have 9.5 million users on the Xbox, live concurrently, right? And you charge them only $1, those 9.5 million, just $1, and they get access to all Xbox One games and Xbox games day one, I'm pretty damn sure you're going to make a decent amount of profit, especially you charge something as simple as $1. You know what I'm saying? It's $1. So I'm pretty sure Sony would probably cut a deal and do something like that. OBJ said, fuck Sony, I love games. Hey, I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying, OBJ. You get what I'm saying. We love their games, but they're businessmen at the end of the day. They businessmen. They know how to sell you something in the day. Let's say. Just give me the Last of Us Part 2. Hey, I'm with you on that. Last of Us Part 2, more than likely, we'll probably get that in September. Even though I don't want to put a lot of faith into that rumor. It could happen in September. A lot of people are reporting it in September. A lot of leaks and such are saying September. What shall I say? Oh, dog, what's up, brother? What's going on? What else is there to talk about on this particular merit? Is there anything else I didn't cover for this? Again, I think I covered the pros, right? You know, faster download times, faster upload times. Um, Definitely more servers for PS Now, right? The Azure servers will allow them to put their games on the mobile device if they so speak. You know, they want to at an easier pace. You know, less latency. They can do that if they wanted to. What else did they go over in this? What's up, boss? What's going on, J boss? What else is there? Hold on, I'm trying to like go through here. Um, what else was it I didn't cover in this? I think I covered everything. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the only thing that's really competing with this is Stadia. So Stadia is the only one that's really at odds here and are really facing a lot of backlash or facing a lot of trouble. But yeah, that's basically what that is. So there you go. Sony's working with Microsoft on the new infrastructure, man. How y'all feel about this? Like, are y'all sold on this? Is this something that y'all would like legit support for PS5 going forward? DJ Show, what's up, man? Oh, I think Carlos asked me for a link. Hold on. Hold on. Let me copy this. Okay, I got one saying no. That's Wraith. He said no, I wouldn't support it. Carlos said, or what said no? Who's down? Who's down for it? Nathaniel, what's up, bro? It's just servers being rented. You think servers is being rented? I mean, again, it could very well be. Could very well be. It could be just, Sony's way of doing it. But the fact that they're even letting Microsoft that close to their infrastructure, Spartan, you know what I'm saying? It won't even matter who has the more powerful console at this rate. If that's the case.
Am I live? Am I
What
live?
what up? But it
What
won't
up, my brother?
what's going on. But it won't even matter if it let them that close to their platform, in a weird way. Let's say Sony again has the cheap, like let's say their console's underpowered to the new Xbox and they wipe the show again like they did this generation. Microsoft can still benefit off of Sony in general, especially with this network, in this partnership. In the long run, they can definitely benefit, especially if they, go the extra mile and Sony gives in like Nintendo did. I know you guys remember the hashtag work together. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, survive together.
Or survive together. There you go, survive together. So, yeah, it's pretty telling. What you guys say about it, there, Carlos?
I mean, this is the initiative to the play anywhere mantra that Phil has been saying for so long. Like a lot of people are not catching on. Yeah, like a lot of people are not catching on exactly to what what the business orientation of Phil is going for. Like he's reaching out to different companies and outsourcing themselves to to make profits for them in order to stay afloat. Next gen, you will still have an Xbox console. Next gen, you will still have the PS5. Next gen is going to be more about or less the software and exclusivity to each platform. The sad part about it is that even with this move that they're making right now, it's going to be more or less an infrastructure based joint venture. It is not going to be that they're going to put Gears of War on the PlayStation or Last of Us on Uncharted on the Xbox. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be them improving upon the streaming based services that they have with PlayStation Now and the Play Anywhere initiative that they're envisioning.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I think Play Anywhere, again, remember this partnership could lead to Play Anywhere coming to PlayStation. I think it could,
and that's where the main focus is at.
Yeah,
a lot of things are pointing to that point. And yeah, you have a lot of Xbox fanboys on Twitter right now talking about
let's not get into the fan. Let's just keep this strictly,
Yeah, let me just put it.
This is
Let me
more.
just put it.
Yeah.
Let's just put it more in the perspective of a business person's mindset. Sony right now is the leader in terms of software sales and hardware sales.
Yes.
Right now, Microsoft is in third place. Second place is Nintendo. Now that you have Amazon
Mm-hmm.
and Google and all these other companies going for the stream to play service, you're going to have competition. What better way of making sure that your platform stays alive than joining the leading platform, which is this gen's, it has been Sony. So for Microsoft to do this is a smart move in their part because not only are they staying within the confines of their ideology, but it is actually going to the point where they're going to reach more players.
Mm.
They want that $2 billion player initiative. And this, what better way to do it than to partnering up with the leading platform in console sales and software
Mm-hmm.
sales, Sony.
And you know
Just
what's
the same
crazy
way.
too? This could be a backup plan for them in the longer. Let's say Microsoft comes out guns blazing. Let's say at E3 this year, we get the hardware reveal for the new Xbox, and they show off the new studios, which obviously I asked for in my video. I'm hoping for at least something, like title cards, something for these new games. And then we see the
Mm-hmm.
games, we see some demos, and let's say hypothetically Sony just shows off a few games that just blow them out the way, and again the entire thing continues and goes forward, and Sony will win again like they did last time. Microsoft can easily just flip a switch and put their games on PlayStation to make up any costs that they have like missed out on this gen or next gen. They can do that very easily, like they did with Xbox Game Pass. It's very easy with this
That
decision.
too. And let's just put the icing on the cake. A lot of this is more of an investment. It's not no company buyout like how some people are thinking. This is not a company buyout. Nobody's buying nobody. This
Mm,
is just a joint venture to provide a better PlayStation Now service and a better Game Pass or Play Anywhere initiative service for all the users that are actually going to support the respective platform. It is
yeah,
not it is not that they're going to be, oh, I'm going to sell this game to you or you're going to take this. No, no, no. This
yeah,
is more or less having a infrastructure or a network infrastructure that is reliable and
mm-hmm,
stable when it comes to the major issue, which is input lag,
yep,
latency. There's going to be a lot of crucial high bandwidth usage with these services, and
absolutely, absolutely,
quite frankly, you can't really say, okay, well, since Azuri has its positives and negatives. Azuri is more of a business-based network infrastructure. It is not for just gaming. They have
mm,
a lot of dedicated servers that provide a lot of bandwidth to different outsourced companies. So
yeah,
with this being incorporated into this new venture, it might help prove upon Azuri's technology with the latency issues that they had within the presentation of that Forza 4 Horizon on the iPhone.
yeah.
Because you remember, we called it out plain and simple. There
Yep.
was a lot of latency within that showing.
Yep.
So I
She was
mean, this is
pressing
just
left, she was pressing right, and it took minutes for it to respond left and right.
yeah.
So
So it's like
yeah,
it's just that, man. They're just trying to build upon the infrastructure of their networks in order to provide the best streaming services for those who are actually gonna subscribe to the service and pay for it.
yeah. I mean, again, we said it before too when we first saw. Like we all said it in the chat, even those who were here, we all said it. It's going to take a while before these streaming services are really up to what they're preaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's gonna
seamless.
take a whole lot of
Yeah.
like
Seamless
financial backing.
transitions from gameplay to laptop to TV to whatever, right? All these are going to take time to build upon. Now, Google Stadia did show us a little bit of a better presentation for theirs, but many people still saw latency problems in theirs, especially when he switched from the laptop to the console or something like that.
Oh yeah, like
There was
even
a latency
even
problem there. But I'm sorry, I mean cut you off, but it's going to take a minute. It's going to take some time for that to actually be a reality of what a lot of people want in the future for content.
not only that, I mean, there was a lot of people that were complaining about the Stadia situation too, as well. They were saying that they had a lot of issues with the transitioning from hardware to hardware, which
Mhm.
again, input lag and latency. And it's going to be the same problem that's going to happen with Sony and Xbox with this new, this new initiative that they're taking. I mean, even with Nintendo, you still have that same problem. Their infrastructure is not as developed as the other two, but they're making strides to get to that point. And I think that in the near future, we're going to see something similar to what Google is doing now, but with the console. There's going to be more network infrastructure based with better
Yeah.
streaming, better services.
To everybody who believes Sony, like when this partnership, no, this is not going to lead to Sony and Microsoft like legit building one platform. Like basically,
No, 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 no,
this
no,
doesn't
no.
mean like Sony and Microsoft are going to make a console together and they're going to call like the Playbox or
No, no, no,
Xbox.
no, no,
No, they're not
nothing
doing
like
they're
that.
not doing anything like that. They're just building upon their services, like their streaming services. But again, also like I said, like we just read it here on the channel. Microsoft will be helping Sony specifically in their infrastructure. They're going to be helping them in the infrastructure department. So again, Nintendo, a lot of people give Nintendo flack. I have given Nintendo flack on certain decisions with the Switch, but again, I can't fault them right now because they are getting a better network in the long run through their partnership with Microsoft. So they are doing
I mean, at the end of the day, people, you got to understand. This is not me being a corporate slave. This is me not being a fanboy. This is just me being a logical consumer. At the end of the day, all these companies are going to do exactly what they need to do in order to provide a better service to the consumers. Whether it means taking shortcuts to certain areas within the aspect, they're going to do it. At the end of the day, they go by what the data input that they're getting from all their services. They're not going to go by fanboy logic or outsourcing or outcries. They're going to
What's
go
up?
mainly.
What's up, El Matador? What's going on, brother? This dude, who is his name? Damn good 75. He said that Microsoft could buy Sony, and Sony knows this. Here's the thing: even if they could buy Sony, and Sony like was up for sales, right? Like, let's say Sony was a company that could be bought. Do you really think Sony wants to be bought at this point? Do you think Sony will allow themselves to be bought, especially when they're making the accolades they are with their games this
They
year?
actually are making more revenue than Microsoft right now in
Making
terms of
way more revenue
consoles
than
and software
yeah.
based related products. Like they're making bread.
Yeah, if you
That
were to count the revenue for this generation to that of the PS2, it's up there. Remember, PS2 dominated the gaming market. It destroyed the gaming market.
yeah, for like over
Single
10 years,
handedly.
bro.
Yeah, they had that on a lot. You couldn't even escape movies without seeing a PS2 because that's how loved the PS2 was.
Mhm.
PS4 has pretty much done, I would say about half that, right? Because it's a different time. I'll say about half of it. It's a different market. It's a different, everything's changed now, but it's about half that. But it has done ridiculously well
Oh
in
yeah,
that
they have
regard.
done a whole lot better than what they did with the PS3 in terms of
Yeah.
revenue and everything that they've done. They have turned what they wanted into an actual goal to even achieving even more. So now for next generation, the sky's the limit for them in terms of what other visions that they have. Each company has a vision. Each company has an incentive that they want to get to. And right now, Sony's incentive for next gen is to provide you with the best gaming experience, you know, as far as to, character details, graphics,
Mhm.
processing power, and just give you a better gaming experience. Microsoft's vision is more or less in between. It's going to be between providing you games, but it's more service based orientated because a lot of people are not paying attention. But gaming services, movie services, everything is becoming a service that is more accessible to more and more people each and every single day. And that's where the bread and butter of earnings is at. You have to follow the stock market. You have to follow the trends that are going on within the companies themselves. A lot of people just like to, go on, oh, because this company makes more money. No, 9 out of 10 times, the company that has the most money is actually the one that can actually have a limitation. They can either have a limitation where they have the money, but they don't have the right amount of people, to back up their company. So they are stuck within making decisions where, okay, we have to come up with a solution to capitalize to even make more revenue. But people don't see that. They just see it as, oh, this company has better than this. But no, all companies have a limitation, and some will partner up with other companies in order to improve upon the services within their own system.
Okay, interesting comment from Xbox Gamer. He said there is simply no real place for PlayStation. It will be an era of the big boys like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and possibly also Apple. What do you mean by that? Sony is still one of the biggest names are in the world right now. Still are.
Sony,
When it comes
yo,
to first party games, when it comes to the gaming aspect, Sony has always been number one, number two when it comes to just games in general with their consoles. Many people, the reason why I would say number one or two, because a lot of people love Nintendo. A lot of people like Mario. Mario gets bought on nostalgia alone, and
I
Pokemon,
mean,
et cetera, et cetera.
Mario's
But
the
again, yeah, I'm
Mario's the
saying,
Mickey Mouse of the gaming industry,
yeah,
bro.
that's nostalgia by itself. But you said the big boys like Microsoft and Sony. In terms of, you're talking about the service, let's say Stadia versus xCloud. I mean, maybe, but this is a different story. We're talking about you're talking about gaming. That's a different story when it comes to PlayStation. Different story.
I mean, Sony as a company has way more of an international presence than Xbox. In reality, like Xbox is like the Xbox just started back in 2001. It has 19 years in the game. Sony has over 50 years as a company
Okay,
making
so
services.
you're talking about streaming. You said they're small in terms of streaming. Yes, I agree. I talked about that earlier. I said
Yeah,
it earlier in the very article.
but
Sony hasn't really focused on building a streaming service like what Microsoft has been working on for like the past 3-4 years, right? They've been working on this,
yeah,
or since 20. Let's just say since the Xbox One first came out, because they talked about services or servers and all that at the start. So they've been working on this for a while, but Sony didn't really focus on streaming aspect. They bought
not really.
Gaikai,
I mean,
yeah, they bought
you have,
Gaikai, which was a
yeah,
streaming
but
service, but Gaikai again isn't necessarily the big picture of what's really to come, and it's not the the exact same as what you're seeing now on the market, what
I
they're going
mean,
into.
if you want to base it on years of actuality and what correlates to everything else, Sony's been doing the streaming thing more longer than Microsoft. Microsoft just initially started back in 2017. They announced it in that year. Remember that E3 in that year that they were looking for future outlooks in terms of services for the gamers. So if you really want to go back, PlayStation now has been out since 2014. The Playware initiative started back in 2017 to 2018. So in reality, you only got like a year and a couple of months, and they haven't even improved upon anything yet.
Yeah.
Like even with last year's showing and this year's Inside Xbox, you see a lot of limitations with the streaming stuff. So for that dude to come up with that type of comment, bro, you need to really realize and study things with a better perspective, not just put
Mhm.
fanboy logic into everything, because fanboy logic is just going to leave you dumb at the end of the day.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephen the King. He said Microsoft will use Sony semiconductor / image sensors. Yes, they did. They did say that they're going to be helping them with the infrastructure as well. But yes, they will have access to these things when this partnership legit happens. I'm guessing the partnership took place today, so it's legit now, and they're working on the infrastructure. And it makes sense. Remember, 2020, right? We're going to get the reveal and release of PS5. So this is pretty much the end of PS4 this gen, what we got now. So it makes sense. Why'd you time out Xbox Gamer? What do you say? Hold on. Oh, I'm timing him out. No, what do you say?
Sony's 10 decades behind Google? Not really.
Not really. Consoles are almost past. Console. Okay, so I'm guessing what Xbox Gamer is trying to say is that he's all for streaming. He believes streaming is the big all end all now that it's being brought in the light. It's a cool topic. Look, I'm be honest with you, Xbox Gamer. It's a cool topic. It's something cool on paper, but to see it become the norm,
Yeah, it's
nah,
gonna take it a while, bro. It's
nah,
gonna take it a while.
it's not gonna be norm just yet. Not yet. What's up, Jamia? But yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be the norm just yet. It's going to take a while. Definitely going to take a while when it comes to the situation. But it's a lot to take in. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's a lot to take in with that.
Yeah,
As far as
we're gonna get that.
Sony needing Microsoft, I don't think Sony needs Microsoft at all. Sony just being strategic about it. They're letting them help them with the infrastructure, get on the servers. That's basically what Sony's doing. I'm guaranteed Sony's gonna be taking notes as well. But that's what it looks like. What's up? Shut up, Meg. What's going on? But that's what seems like they're gonna be doing. At least to me, it feels like. But everything else is straightforward. Hopefully, though, we get more information and more stuff comes to light. But as of right now, you guys remember the leaks that constantly were leaking on the internet, such as Sony's going to have gifting, and an X amount of other features. With this new partnership, I can actually see that 110% actually happening with the PS5. I can definitely see that. That makes sense now, definitely. So it would make sense that Sony would do that now. And a lot of people were kind of, going, well, how are they going to do that? Because, Microsoft kind of figured it out, right? Well, now we know why. So the partnership definitely did work and will work in Sony's favor if that is going to be the case. What's up, Chili Hog? What's going on, brother? So, yeah, definitely a lot to take in. Definitely.
Yeah, this is not a corporate buy. Like a lot of people think this is a corporate buy. It really isn't. It really is not.
If a corporate buyout, it would be like Sony said, yeah, we're happy to announce our new boss.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes to boss moves, Sony would be the boss and the employee would be Microsoft in terms of gaming.
Yeah, this is where I want you guys to throw your questions in. Now, Stefan D. King said both will benefit from this deal, and not just Sony. Appreciate the super chat. Now, do me a favor, add a little context as to how Microsoft would benefit. I want everybody to participate in this. How would either side benefit? Now, again, I already went over the Sony portion, right? Sony will have access to a bigger server or more servers. They will have, potentially better uploads and download speeds on their console. And of course, they'll have a much better online infrastructure nonetheless when it comes to the online streaming, et cetera, et cetera. So Sony will be gaining those type of benefits from this partnership. But
and that's where the important part is at.
Yeah, so let's go over what Microsoft will be benefiting from. Everybody, the floor is yours. Go ahead, type away. What exactly you guys think Microsoft will benefit from the deal? Unless Sony does something drastic, legit, join Game Pass and their games are on Xbox. I don't see that much of a big benefit for Microsoft. I mean, sure, maybe crossplay, right? Maybe crossplay, that'll be the thing.
That could be also a big role. You could probably have cross progression within those servers as well. Let's say, for example, the third party, third party support for those games that are cross compatible to PlayStation, to Xbox, PC, Switch. There's a lot of things that are beneficial in the long term.
Good point. Good point in the chat, guys. They said money. Missouri will bring in more money. That's pretty much the only benefit I can think of. Is just money.
I mean, that's the only thing that Microsoft is really seeing in the benefit in the long run.
It's money. So that does make sense. Money. So okay, for sure. But aside from money, well, what else do you guys think is actually going to happen? What else?
A lot of things could happen, but it's just it really boils down to who's willing to partake in sharing. And I don't see that happening, very drastically.
Yeah.
I see it more as a time consuming, but yet, we got to make certain agreements to this and that kind of situation.
Who said HoloLens? HoloLens, I think they abandoned a long time ago. So it's not
really a long time.
That was a long time ago. But I understand why you said HoloLens. It was a cool concept. Unfortunately, they never built upon the concept for HoloLens, so HoloLens never, came to fruition. In the long run, it was augmented reality, right? That's what HoloLens was, augmented. So yeah, augmented reality, not VR. So, that's not really going to be a thing anytime soon. At least I don't think they'll go back to it. It's too expensive. Let's say 2 billion gamers. Okay. I mean, again, it all adds up in the end, right? They're going to be with Microsoft. I'm sorry, with Sony and PlayStation. So yeah, they'll have two different platforms to make money from. So yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
Daddy Phil, man. Daddy Phil is bringing in the money for Microsoft. That is
I
smart.
mean, it's gonna benefit each company, whether it's Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft. They're each gonna reap on whatever comes to them, and quite frankly, I would actually want to see cross progression between the platforms. Let's say, for example, with Warframe, I want to carry over my Warframe saves, let's say, to the Switch or to the Xbox or even to PC from my PS4. I would rather see that, but that is going to happen. It's going to take it a while.
Yeah, definitely. Stephen King again, super chat. Appreciate the support, my brother. He says Sony makes industry leading electronic components. This will help Microsoft / Sony to feature proof their tech versus Google. Okay.
Yeah, that could
Okay.
be also beneficial to the
Good point.
company.
That's actually a good point. Very good. Very good. Nice. Thank you for that. That's very good.
Hardy Matador, bro. Yo, bro, you funny, bro. X-Phil wants God of War on Xbox.
shout out to Matador for super chat. Let's see. I'll support Microsoft and Sony against Google. Fuck Google. Yeah. Shout out to what was it? I think it was it Fonz who said Fugle Squad, the Fugle.
Oh, the Fugles.
The
Like
Fugle
I don't know,
Squad. So,
man.
yeah, shout out to
Ever since notice how ever since the announcement of Stadia, we're seeing more and more, the transition into providing an all streaming feature for the console gamer. Just notice that.
yeah, that one. That one. Oh, look, here comes Overdone. Look at this. A ghost who walked into the chat. He said, God damn, within 24 hours, people believe Microsoft and PlayStation are working together. Buddies. Technically, they are with them helping into the server. We read the whole thing live on the channel, bro. They're legit building Sony servers, bro. They're working on or the infrastructure, sorry, for the system. So they are doing that.
Yeah,
That's your new
pretty
day.
much.
You're no longer overdone memes. You're the ghost who walks, the phantom reference. The ghost who walks.
And shout
But
out to Overdone, man. How you doing, bro?
I hate to say it. But yeah, a lot to take in. Definitely a lot to take in. I'm hyped for it. I'm excited for it. But yeah. What's up, Drew Thomas?
I mean, I'm taking this as the way it is. It's more of a joint venture. It is not no assimilation to one platform to the other. It's just a simple, okay, I'm gonna use 700 of your Azure servers to provide me this much
Mhm.
bandwidth usage, and we're gonna give you this much service so that we can, have you take in the incoming traffic and then improve upon the bandwidth. That's
Yeah.
all that is. It's really nothing
One thing that's going to be
super
telling
crazy.
about this deal, I don't think this deal is going to not much comes out of this deal if we're still getting data capped.
And that's going to
Yeah.
be a big thing.
That's the big thing too. Not much comes out of this deal, guys. Remember that in the chat. If we're still getting data capped by not just our internet service providers, but also the consoles, how much is really going to come out of this deal? If you think about it. What's up? What's up, Dave? What's going on? Why everybody thinks PlayStation games are going on Xbox?
Because they're a bunch of
A lot of people believe that. Let's see. You seen Twitter, Dave? So you already know the answers you're going to get if you go to Twitter. Lou said PS gamers or PlayStation gamers get a better online service. Microsoft get money, but he doesn't believe that games get anything or Xbox gamers get anything out of it. So that's what he says. It's possible. It's possible that they will get some better games out of this deal.
I mean, once again, it's just servers that are going to be utilized by each company.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be nothing, it's not going to change the whole perspective of what Sony's going to do for the next gen. It's still going to be the same exact thing. They're going to provide you with a console. That console is going to come with great blockbuster IPs. The same will be said for the Xbox. They're going to, since they already have their acquisitions of studios that they have acquired recently, we're going to see a little bit more, more better production from Microsoft, hopefully, and hopefully we won't have the same kind of scenario that we did for this gen for
Yeah.
Microsoft.
That's actually a good point, Overdone. He said people believe games going to get carried over to other platforms is stretching it much. Yeah, it does. It is. They didn't really say they're going to bring in their their games IP wise to the services or stretching them across. They're not doing that. They're just it's mostly servers. This is mostly a server issue, so they're going to be fixing their server
Like
and improving them. But it could lead to other deals, though. Remember, you heard this here first. It could lead to other deals. Like, remember, we thought the partnership that they had with Nintendo was just minor. Remember, it was just minor stuff, and then they ended up building their infrastructure completely. So it could lead to stuff. So never rule out the possibility of something else happening because remember,
I mean, you got
they're all
Cuphead
about
on,
money.
on,
They're
on the
all about
Switch.
money. And if Sony can get a cheaper, or basically, if Sony can get a much better network and infrastructure out of the deal for next to nothing, they'll go for it. Trust me, they're smart about that. It's like Nintendo would be smart, and they won about it. RDL Matador, he said, so low key, Sony is using Microsoft to dominate next gen. Again,
Maybe,
I
not.
wouldn't even say that. I would say Sony's looking out for number one, right? They're looking out for themselves, but also improving themselves when they need to, and the possible outcome for next gen. They're proving themselves going into next gen. So Microsoft has another avenue where they can definitely get some money out of the competition, but again, Sony they still got their thing, and Microsoft still has their problems. So they gotta fix their problems with their first party studios. But you get what I'm saying? They still need their games. So that's what's going on there. Let's see.
Yeah, shout out to Sir Saddam Sandman. My bad, Sir Sandman.
And yes,
Yeah.
Yes, Spar, I forgot about that. Yes, they're also making semiconductors. Yes, thank you for that. Coming from a guy who works on servers for a living, everything is going to cloud.
I mean,
Yeah.
cloud-based. My bad. Cloud-based data is gonna be the foretelling of the future.
Yeah.
All companies are using cloud-based inputs in order to provide a more seamless and better option for most companies.
Yep.
It eliminates the usage of multiple towers. That's number one, and it saves them money because at the end of the day, you want to save money. The more money that you save, the better you are off in the long run. So a lot of these companies, especially big companies like Walmart, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, any company around the planet, like they will look for ways to improve upon spending. If they see that they're making too much, they're making too much expenditures on their budget, they're gonna find ways to say, okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go to this company. Let's talk out some deals across the table. Let's see what kind of things we could come across apart from each other. And if we do, if we come to an agreement to a certain thing, then okay, you will provide us with this, and we'll provide you with this.
Yeah. All right, definitely good point. I think we covered a good chunk on this for sure. This is
Man.
good little
Not that
conversation.
serious, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not
good
that
little
serious.
conversation. Shout out to everybody who showed up. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the RGT episode 61. A lot to talk about, definitely. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Definitely a lot going on. I know everybody's just it's lost to the day, everything just blew up today. But a lot to take in, but definitely looking forward to what else we're gonna get as we get further to next gen. So yeah, like taking. But yeah, that's pretty much the stream. We appreciate y'all for coming through. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be blessed, y'all be easy, and yeah, holla at y'all. All right.
Deuces.